All right, so today we're diving into something kind of different, something well, honestly, kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
It's Kurt Hull's song "Anime Is My GF,"
Hmm.
and like on the surface, it's a catchy tune, right? But you sent this in, and a bunch of other listeners did too. So clearly, something about these lyrics is resonating. And I gotta say, it's got me thinking about like fandom and escapism and this whole relationship between technology and, well,
Well,
yeah, exactly. Like how technology is shaping our desires, our very ideas of love and connection. What do you think? Where do we even start unpacking this?
well, I think it's incredible, right? This song, it's like a window into how we connect as humans in this world that's just like saturated with screens, with simulations, with the digital,
It's true, yeah.
and it definitely gets complicated. But that's why we're here, right? To dive into that complexity.
Exactly. So, okay, right off the bat, like first lines of the song, Kurt throws us right into this intense, almost like instantaneous attraction. Woke up, TV glowing, love at first sight, and it's all about the visuals. Like colors come alive, big blue eyes. We're not easing into this with like shared interests or deep conversations. It's visceral.
It is.
Like
Bam.
it is, and I think it speaks to how anime, with its really unique visual language, how it can just cut through all the noise and tap directly into our emotions.
Like, think about it. Love at first sight, it's a classic trope for a reason,
Yeah.
right? There's something primal about it. And here, Kurt's connecting that primal feeling to the experience of watching anime, to that immediate aesthetic experience.
And that takes us right to that chorus, right? Anime is my GF, pixel love is so strong. Okay, I gotta be honest. On the surface, taken out of context, it's
It can be a little jarring.
yeah, exactly. But knowing this is a song, an artistic expression, there's got to be like layers to this. What's the message, would you say, for the listener?
Right, right. It's about understanding fandom and how, for some people, the lines between like really admiring a character and romantic attraction can get blurry.
Blurry is a good word.
It is, especially when we're talking about fictional characters, and it's about finding comfort, finding solace in a world that, let's be honest, can feel anything but comforting sometimes. And these characters, they become these idealized figures, these perfect
Companions.
companions, yes, and they offer this feeling of being understood, of being seen, even if it's just a feeling.
And it makes you wonder, right? Like, is this a new thing, this whole like projecting yourself onto fictional characters? Or is it something that's always been there? It's just, maybe the digital age has amplified it?
It's a great question, and honestly, I think you see echoes of it throughout history, right? I mean, people have been writing love letters to characters in novels for centuries, or feeling these deep spiritual connections to figures in mythology. The difference now, I think, is the accessibility and the immersive nature of digital media, like anime with its complex narratives, its visually stunning worlds. It creates this incredibly fertile ground for these types of intense connections.
That's true, yeah. And then there's this push and pull in the lyrics that really gets me. This like virtual embrace feels so very real, but then also in my heart she stays. Like he's acknowledging the fantasy, but there's this twinge of sadness there too, right?
Definitely. It really gets at the heart of what we call the parasocial relationship, that one-sided bond that we as audience members, as fans, we form with these characters. And there's a reason why people find solace, comfort, even genuine emotional support from these parasocial relationships. But like the song acknowledges, it exists primarily in our minds, in our imagination. In my heart, it suggests a safe space, a private world where this love, it can be real, at least for the person experiencing it.
And it's interesting too because there's that line, "Love's so automatic" in every episode with me, and it struck me how he's like zeroing in on the consistency of the character. Because let's be real life relationships, they're messy, they're
Absolutely. They're unpredictable. You never know what you're going to get. And that's a really important point you're making, because in a world that feels, I don't know, increasingly chaotic and uncertain and just all over the place, these characters, these fictional characters, they offer something incredibly appealing. Stability. They're always there. They're always true to their nature. And their stories often provide these very, very clear-cut resolutions, which, let's face it, real life rarely offers.
facts.
It's a powerful form of escapism,
Clear.
because it allows people to to find refuge in a world where the rules are clear, the emotional payoff is guaranteed.
So, okay, when we put it all together, this song, it's not like an instruction manual.
No, definitely not.
It's more
A
like,
conversation starter.
yes, it's like he's opening a door and inviting us to step through and really think about how digital spaces are like fundamentally changing the way we relate to stories and the characters within those stories.
I love that because it's less about judging those feelings and those desires and more about trying to understand them,
Absolutely.
about understanding the very human needs they might be reflecting. The need for connection, for comfort, for a sense of belonging in a world that can often feel, frankly, pretty isolating.
It's so true. It makes you wonder, in this world where the lines between like virtual and real are getting blurrier all the time, what does it even mean to love a fictional character? And what does that say about our own very real search for connection in this digital age? That's a question I think we could all stand to think about a little more deeply.